So it's the end of Victoria Road Prison. All this is being demolished. But we thought we'd take this opportunity to have a few specials to look back on some of the stories that have been covered about this place over the years. The one we start with is a very young-looking Mr. Richard Corkill, who was the Minister of Home Affairs at the time. He had to explain to a curious television crew why slopping out was still going on even into the mid-90s.
Well, we've got a prison here which was built in 1891. There were some modern extensions which opened in 1989. So when you refer to slopping out, in fact that refers to part of the prison. The newer part obviously has proper sanitation. It's the policy of the Department of Home Affairs to make sure that we do sort out the sanitation requirements. I think it's the minimum that we should be doing in the prison. And the argument really is how best to do that, not whether we should do it.
So how best is it to do that?
Well, we've got a problem of logistics, because whenever you and we've seen this on visits to United Kingdom prisons, when in fact you install sanitation into old cells, into the Victorian cells, you lose cell accommodation. And that is a problem, because at the moment we've 72 prisoners, and therefore we need the accommodation. We haven't got an alternative prison to put prisoners into. We have to keep our prison operational at all times, and so we have to work out the logistics of that.
Have you got any plans to improve the prison?
Absolutely. We've got a report recently that the Scottish Prison Service have helped us with, which lays out all the options. They've been very helpful, and I'd like to thank the Scottish Prison Service for that help. The top option is a brand new prison on a greenfield site at a great deal of expense. Other options include expanding the facility that's here, but that is where the logistical problems are, because we've got roads on three sides, we've got an old building, and in fact the options are reduced by that very aspect. It's in a residential area as well.
Conditions are so bad though, do you not think you should be doing something to improve them?
Well, you say conditions are bad. Certainly with regard to the slopping out, that's not acceptable. We would like to do more with regard to education and rehabilitation of offenders. But in fact, you say conditions are bad, and I would say that in a small prison such as this, compromises are made which might look bad in bigger prisons, but in fact work reasonably well here.
Is there overcrowding in the prison?
Certainly we've got an occupancy problem. It's not as bad as it's been. We did have as many as 90 prisoners last year. There has been growth in the prison population. Back in, I think, 1970, the prison population was about 11 inmates on a daily basis. That averages now about 69, I think. So, but of course, we've had extensions in the late 80s, and another reason for the increase is we send less prisoners to the United Kingdom now.